Within minutes of a bullet hitting Charlie Kirk's neck on September 10th, the American right and the Trump administration were railing in unison against an amorphous radical left supposedly responsible for the shooting. And despite the fact that no concrete evidence has come out since tying Kirk's alleged shooter to any kind of radical leftist group or ideology, and even less evidence tying him to Antifa, Donald Trump seized the opportunity to do something that he'd been talking about since his first term. He declared Antifa a terrorist organization on September 22nd.
Under your leadership, President Trump, we're deploying the full might of the federal law enforcement to crack down on Antifa.
Hold on, you might think, why am I talking about Antifa in a video about Venezuela and cartels? Why am I making that connection? Well, I'm not making that connection. They are.
Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom.
So what is Antifa? There's a truism that is often repeated about them.
Antifa is an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia.
Antifa stands for anti-fascist, and therefore, if you're against fascism, you are Antifa. Memes have been circulating on social media portraying Indiana Jones and Brad Pitt's character from Inglourious Basterds as Antifa. And while that's kind of true, let's be honest, it's a little bit disingenuous. Because while there is no one organization called Antifa, it can be better thought of as an umbrella term for thousands of informal groups and activist networks from all over the world dedicated to monitoring, protesting, and fighting fascism wherever it pops up. When people think Antifa, they're not thinking Indiana Jones or random average people who don't like the far right. They're thinking of the often masked black bloc demonstrators, which is not a tactic exclusive to Antifa, nor is it representative of all of Antifa. But I've interviewed Antifa spokespersons over the years. I've gotten threatened by Antifa people for filming demonstrations as a journalist, so it's clearly more than just an idea. But even if the Trump administration had a narrow definition of Antifa aimed at violent demonstrators, branding them with the official designation of a terrorist organization is a concerning move, especially coming from a government that has close ties with actual organized paramilitary groups. And a president who pardoned 1.5 thousand people arrested for the violent assault of the US Capitol to overturn the result of the 2020 election in his favor.